Hello, so good to meet you at our global motivational meeting. We are reading Messiah's Second Coming messages. These God's words that inspire billions of people, families, communities, countries, and the whole world. And will help you to just read these quotes and practice in daily life. Think about them that God could give you tips for happy life and prosperous futures. As we're reading these messages from the beginning, please find all the chapters of our Message to Billion channel. And you may turn on suggestion playlist. Choose the best one for you and listen God's word. Stay blessed all the day. Let's read further from True Father, what God prepared for us today. Next, although God has advanced the work of establishing one absolute nation by sending his beloved sons and daughters to the earth, at each point in time, there was no way through which a nation could be restored, because that work has always failed. God has had to continually send people of heaven to this earth to manage the work, to push it ahead, and to accomplish it. This is how the history of the providence of restoration has been unfolding up to the present day. We ought to be grateful, even if God were to sacrifice us as individuals, and we ought to be grateful if God were to sacrifice our family, tribe, people, or nation. It is only when we can have that attitude, when a nation with that attitude appears, that the world can be changed through that nation. However, no matter how much an individual may sacrifice, if that nation is not established, the sacrifices of individuals and the sacrifices of families, tribes, and people also will be have to continue. It is under that principle that God has pushed forward the providence to fight the nation during the course of history. Therefore, whenever there was an individual who could think of such a nation and benefit that nation, God used the family that had inherited the individual's tradition of sacrifice for that nation. And God has tribes and people inherited that family's tradition so that they could sacrifice for the nation in this way. God has pushed forward the providence to find that nation. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the purpose for which we were born on this earth? It was so that we could love that nation. The purpose of God's providence up until now was also to love that nation. A person without a sovereign nation to call his own is beautiful indeed. Therefore, Jesus said, in consideration of this, therefore, do not worry, saying, what will we eat, or what will drink, or what will wear? For it is the Gentiles who strive for all these things. And indeed, your heavenly Father know that you need all these things, but strive first for the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Did Jesus say to seek, to first seek a son, or to first seek God's kingdom? He said to seek the nation that God is seeking. God's hope to establish his kingdom and his righteousness is not realized apart from us and the things of creation. Rather, it is realized through us. God's hope is that the true people will serve at the center of harmony between God and all things. Therefore, God sent Jesus to this earth as a substantial being that represented him in front of fallen people as a person who could represent the lineage of heaven. In other words, Jesus was the very first person who came to the earth to realize God's historical hope. He was the first son of God, established in such a position after 4,000 years. Jesus was the son established on the earth as a seed within one nation, centering on Judaism. In the family of Joseph, at that time, Satan already had established nations through which he was attacking heaven's side. Therefore, heaven's side also need a national standard or as a perfect foothold. Therefore, God worked hard for 4,000 years in order to form a nation. God's achievement would have been crowned when the Israelites accepted Jesus and combined a global foothold so that the entire world would center on God and Jesus. However, due to Jesus facing that the world was realized only spiritually. In this 3 years public course, and his 3 years public course, Jesus tried to restore through indemnity everything that has been lost centering on Judaism. However, when Jesus died on the cross, the Israel that God has established as his foothold nation and as a substantial entity on this earth was broken both in spirit and in flesh. In the end, through the death of Jesus, Christianity has a national base in a spiritual sense. Moreover, the Israelites became the outcast of Satan's world and people forced to wander in isolation without a nation. As a result, no nation embodies Christianity in both spirit and flesh. The returning Lord must restore the providence of God that established Israel based upon 4,000 years of preparation, which was lost due to ignorance and disbelief. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus came to the earth to find a nation. He came to establish a single nation. However, while Jesus was unable to establish a nation of both spirit and flesh, he did establish it spiritually. Therefore, the Christianity of today does not have a special nation on the earth. This means that there is no nation or people on the earth whom God can say, this is my beloved nation, this is my beloved people. It means that there is not yet a foundation for God's nation on earth. If Israel had become one with God's Son, Jesus at its center in his time, that nation would have become God's nation and God would have restored the world centering on that nation. However, the death of Jesus, in other words, the loss of the substantial being, meant that the base upon which God wanted to connect to the earth in spirit and in flesh was restored only in spirit. Until now, the church has had neither a nation nor sovereignty. Thus, saintly believers have been killing wherever where they went. Christianity developed through the shedding of martyrs' blood because Christianity was planted that way. Its development could not have been otherwise. Now that the era requiring persecution with bloodshed has ended, Christianity is not supposed to die out. Instead, based on the belief that the Messiah will return, people need to eagerly await the Lord and revere the lost ideal of the substantial nation that must be taught and realized globally, centering on a spiritual foundation of Christianity. Even Jesus said that he is waiting in paradise. I tell you that he could not approach the throne of heaven. Jesus was supposed to establish a national sovereignty for God, govern that nation and create a nation that would have the authority to connect the people directly from the earth to the kingdom of heaven. Jesus could not make such a nation, so he cannot stand directly before God. Paradise is a waiting room on the way to the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is a place that one cannot enter alone. If the fall had not happened, the kingdom of heaven would have been the place that blessed families would have entered, centering on Adam and Eve. We must enter there together with our sons and daughters in order to restore that through indemnity heaven taught for 2,000 years and made the base to connect with the world up until now. Yet on this earth, without a national standard, who will inherit that national base? God has prepared to fulfill this purpose by gathering many holy people through a new religious movement centering on Christianity. Respected leaders, how as now as we enter in the third millennium after Christ, we are the beneficiaries of a new family fortune. All religions, people ought to join together in one accord to act upon the proposal that a council representing all religions became an upper house of the United Nations. The loftiest achievement the United Nations could accomplish would be to recover a universal human spirituality based on God's true love. What could be great than that? Therefore, I have been selected responsible people from all areas of society, the religious sphere, the political sphere, philosophical, economic, and cultural sphere also, and teaching them about true love, about living for the sake of others. On that foundation, I already have appointed many tens of thousands of ambassadors for peace. These people now are carrying the flag of the Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace, which I founded in all parts of the world, and are doing their utmost to realize the peaceful world that God and humanity have desired for so long. The will of the all-known, all-powerful, and absolute God will be realized soon. In conclusion, I want to express my hope that all of you leaders in attendance today will reestablish your family and your nation with true love and become stars who realize a true and everlasting peaceful world beyond borders. I pray that heavenly blessing will be with you and your families. Thank you very much. Yeah, this was Messiah's second coming words from True Father for today, and let's read further from True Mother. Message at the Sonwa Bakery Cafe. Now, and not only our own citizens, but the people of the world came to this place, they will find the food they need from around the world. It will be a food cultural revolution. A long time ago, in the 1980s, we lived in Germany for a few months. Back then, people of the European culture were living in a truly modern civilization. In those days, honestly, a housewife in Korea had to wake up at least 2 hours before everyone to prepare the morning meal. The Korean people have had the national food culture on the basis of which we needed not only rice, but also soup for the morning meals in order to have enough strength for the day. However, in recent time, taking too much time in the morning to begin a busy day has become a burden. Young couples both have their own work these days as well. However, when I think of the difficulties people go through over that to eat, our intention here is to create a culture of people being able to quickly eat a healthy and nutritious breakfast before going to work and beginning the day. During our stay in Europe at the time, Father also liked this. There were bakeries in the neighborhood, and in the morning we would buy bread there and have it for breakfast. In Germany, you have sausages and such, so after buying bread, you can easily eat with the sausages and eggs, then go to work. I saw that people had a simple meal that saved much time in the morning. It wasn't bad at all. It was good. Father liked it too. In this era of Cheon, we have a lot to accomplish. Moreover, the recent Grand Chombo Festival gave us much hope, didn't it? 5 times the number of Chombo families registered this year compared to the numbers of we were expected a year ago. When I received the bouquet of flowers from the Prophet Radebev group and from Ganga at the Peace World Center, especially, I felt so much gratitude toward heaven. Heavenly parents' dream and all people's desire is also to attend and live with heavenly parents on earth. I want to say how great it would have been if True Father had seen that hopeful dream while he was still on Earth. As I am fortunately on Earth, let's complete the providence together and attend Heavenly Parent he on Earth. Let's bring Heavenly Parents' children, those of second, third, fourth generation together, and send joy and glory to our Heavenly Parent, living our life, developing with hope. It is our Heavenly Parent desire to see people living such a daily life on Earth. What if Adam and Eve had completed their responsibility together and had established life on Earth in order to our Heavenly Parent? Today, I wonder how it would have been back then, compared to this modern civilization that resulted from a long 6,000 years. What is certain is that a lot of high-educated generals would have emerged from among his children if people had lived in unity with the Heavenly Parent who created everything, and with the true parents who can realize the will of our Heavenly Parent and the hopes of humanity. I wonder if it would not have been so different from this present age. However, development today in this scientific civilization is out of balance. It is not the result of created harmony. That's why there are so many problems with the sea level rising due to the climate change. We are also seeing wildfires and heavy rains. There are many problems that our Black families need to solve in the future. Now, the first thing needed is a center. I am saying that everything will work properly only when Heavenly Parent is attending at the center. Many problems still remain to be solved in order to bring this about. Yet, what will happen when you, unlike with True Mother, when you unite with True Mother, and your devotion and loyalty to the will bloom from now on as the flowers of Chombo through our Chombo families in every nation and continent of the world. I hope everyone will unite with Director Jung so that he can advance toward that day. In 10 years, I will be 90 years old. After another 10 years, I'll reach 100. Will I still be here then? When we think that made time here to realize Heavenly Parent's dream, in reality, as that true parent is quite limited and short. I sincerely hope and give my blessing so that Director General Jung and all the people in charge of the headquarters will accelerate their efforts and bring that day closer. I wanted to give my reflection that span the long 6,000 years, but time is too short. And we are hungry. Okay. Then is a personal message. So that was the powerful quotes for today. If you have difficulties, please watch one more time this video. Share this video as we end this billion happy life subscribers marathon. Contact me for consultation, cooperation, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy community globally. Receive Heavenly Kingdom citizenship right now. The contact is below. See you tomorrow with more powerful quotes. And till then, turn on suggestion playlist. Choose the best one for you and listen God's words. Stay blessed all the day. Bye bye. Yours, Nicolae Cirpala.